Ruth. And today, instead of answering one of your questions, I'm going to talk about one of the things that comes up occasionally in forums, in the Facebook page, in any group where we have it set for standards, or we have it set. What I've done when I created my forum, and then later on the Facebook pages, I wanted this to be a comfortable place and a safe space for people who are choosing to stand for their marriage. But then that sometimes brings up what happens to me when I decide I don't want to stand for my marriage anymore. Am I not welcome? Now, I think most people get that, yeah, I'm welcome. But then they say, maybe I don't fit in anymore. Maybe I shouldn't be here anyway. And here's what I want to say. Everyone who supports standing, you're welcome to be here. The important part is that we are supporting of what others are choosing to do. And so I'm talking about this right now because I saw a thread on the Facebook page about I'm no longer standing, and it brought up Chump Lady, Tracy Shorn's book. And Chump Lady's ideas are, it's a unicorn if you're a male seer, or if somebody who's had an affair comes back and they're okay after that. That person is a unicorn. Basically, she's a once a cheater, always a cheater, and I kick him to the curb kind of thing. I don't disagree with everything she says. And the getting a life, what does she say? Get a life, kick a cheater out, something like that. I don't agree with all of that, but I do disagree with once a cheater, always a cheater. What it is really it's saying that that person is bad rather than that person behaved badly. And I am against character assassination. I'm against saying that somebody's character is bad. We all have had bad behaviors, and we all need to look in at ourselves. None of us are perfect. So that's the problem I have with it. She's got great things to say. I'm not against everything in there. But I want those of you who are here, you know what the pain is. You have things to offer to all of us. Sometimes you come here because you can learn about midlife crisis, even if you're not interested in standing. That's awesome too. To me, what's important is that we're a safe place. I want it to be safe for both of you. For those of you who are standing, for those of you who never were. Some of you would just come not knowing. I don't know what I want. I know I didn't want it to happen in my marriage. But now that it has, maybe this line is it for me. For some, that's your line in the sand. And you have to figure it out because you're emotionally raw, but you know you don't want to take that person and continue with your relationship. Or maybe it's a decision that's made through time as you recognize what's going on, as things get worse. Or maybe when you realize, I'm not going to be one of those that reconciles no matter how long I stand. You can stand for your marriage forever. That doesn't mean that there's ever going to be a reconciliation. I am sorry for every one of you because the odds are against us. The odds are against it. There are certain groups that have greater odds of reconciliation, clinging boomerangs perhaps, but the odds are against all of them, okay? And I want you all to know that. I don't want anyone out there to come in and say that I was trying to delude you into thinking, yes, you can get your marriage back and it's going to happen and the odds are in your favor. It's difficult when I talk to individuals because if I'm talking to you individually, I get the specifics and I can say, you know what, I really think you've got a better chance. It might not be 50-50, but I can see where it's coming with you. I can see it. Or your spouse, they keep saying they don't want a divorce and that they want to be with you someday. So it is difficult on an individual basis to balance how much you give that hope. But I want every one of you to know, even when the odds are more in your favor, this is a long road to hoe and there are no guarantees. But peacing for our marriage, I don't like fighting because that's conflict. I'd rather that we peace for our marriage. Peacing for our marriage is something that is important to strive for if that's what we want. And I want us all to have support in it. And you are all here. Welcome to help us heal. We all have to heal. Healing is that most important thing because if you don't heal, if you don't detach and heal, You're not going to get to a reconciled, stable marriage anyway. If you don't heal, you're not going to get to emotional stability outside of marriage, outside of reconciliation. The path to reconciliation is the same as the path to not reconciling. So we can all hold our hands together in a community and help each other as long as we are supporting each other's choices. Now, are there times where we're going to say, honey, this isn't good. It's toxic. Yeah, there are. And it's a balancing act. If there's abuse, and when I say abuse, because we've talked about how infidelity is a form of abuse, I mean violence. Run. Now, am I going to say, don't ever go back to that person? I might feel that. But at the same time, I know that it's still a personal choice. Social workers who work with abuse victims, who work with spouses, know that they have to back off and wait. And they can't do anything until that person comes to them. So our job is to simply be there for them, be a listening ear. Yes, you can give your advice. You know what? I think that you're married to somebody who is an addict and they are not an acknowledged addict and they're going downhill and it's dangerous and toxic for you. You need to get out. Does that mean you stay out if they get better and start to acknowledge it and they are interested? That's a choice. What's important is that we support all of our choices and we are there to be listening ears and listening hearts to each other. So please, I understand that sometimes you may want to leave if you need to move forward because the group can drag us down and keep us stuck where we were. Great. Great. But please don't feel that you're not welcome. Please don't feel that you don't have anything to contribute. Because if you can hold somebody's hand, metaphorically and through cyberspace, and listen to them and help them to heal, then you're welcome here. Okay? So, everybody is welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of our community, and I will see you next time.